Yeah, that's right, we are back. Today, I'm pretty excited because I finally made it back to Tredegar skate pool in Newport, South Wales. I'm gonna try and go over these steps, carve over the top. Oh my gosh. Let's take a look around. So coming into the shallow end, there's a set of wedding cake steps to help me down. I reckon this is about 6 foot and jolly steep. Now this looks similar to the shallow end of St Ives pool. Maybe a touch taller and maybe not quite as steep. So hopefully I'll be able to get in on a drop in the shallow end. The deep end I reckon is about 10 foot and again jolly steep at the top. And it's got a sort of compound radius. So it starts steep and continues steep until you get to the bottom where it suddenly whips into the bottom of the pool. My next mission is going to be trying to get over this skull. Now this is a sort of simulation of a light in a swimming pool and it adds a little bit of a psychological factor, a little bit of danger when you're trying to carve over the top of it. I'm hoping I'll be able to clear it and get to the tiles, maybe even get a little scratcheroo on the coping there, backside and front side. So the main mission today I reckon is getting over these steps. Now I've been thinking about this for a while and again this is another psychological mission. Just putting these steps in the way of a carve, you're thinking, oh, I'm going to lose some skin on my shins. What I anticipate happening, having done a few psychological skate challenges, is I'll just jump off to start with and then eventually I'll get enough confidence to stay on and commit and hopefully won't come a cropper because this concrete is pretty rough. When I've been here before, I just had standard knee pad caps, but this time I've got the burley caps and they're made out of the same stuff as chopping board plastic and they tend to slide a lot better over rough terrain. I'm gonna stick all my pads on and get cracking with the drop in. Now I know that the camera won't pick up how steep this transition is or how much the coping sticks out, but I'm feeling pretty anxious when I offer it up. I'm just gonna have to go in and commit to a couple. That's not quite as bad as I thought it'd be. The shallow end of the St Ives pool is way steeper. This one just looks a little bit gnarly because the concrete is a bit rough. So should one come a cropper, it's going to be a loss of skin. Next up, I'm going to drop in the deep end. My next mission is to try and carve over the skull. I'm also going to try and get the tiles and maybe even a little chicken scratch on the coping. Okay, the first few attempts to get over the stairs. I'm not committing just yet, I'm trying to find my line, I'm just tweaking it, coming in earlier, coming in later. The problem I've got is there's no coping on the top, so whenever the trucks hit the top, they just stop dead. Also, the sound of the tiles is a bit unnerving and I'm finding I'm jumping off to preempt the truck hitting the top. So I need to find a line that will take me across the top, but below where the coping is supposed to be. Okay, it's feeling a little bit more promising if I take a wider arc. That doesn't throw me up as high on the top of the transition, so I'm coming in a little bit earlier than I think I need to. Next stage is just to stay on the board. At the moment, I keep on jumping off. So as soon as I commit to one, hopefully... Oh. Yeah, that's a scrappy one in the bag. I just decided to stay on at the last minute. Nearly came a cropper. I need to tidy it up now. Basically, I'm not bending my knees enough. I'm not committing my shoulder into the turn. I just need to really go for it. It's not as hard as I thought, but just sticking an obstacle in the way of that carve really plays with the mind, puts in that psychological barrier and also that seed of doubt. It's a real shame that coping's missing, those pesky kids. If that was there, then you could throw caution to the wind, grind over the top of it, and it'd be okay. But that extra jeopardy of maybe catching the top, I'm gonna do a few more. Okay, I've noticed this line over the steps throws me into a possible front side carve over the skull. I'm going to give that a whirl. Well, that's it for this video skating Tredegar skate pool. That was a lot of fun. Just dropping in and carving round, maybe getting a little snickeroo on the coping and trying to get over those stairs is right at the very edge of my current ability. I really enjoyed the challenge, but always on the edge of it all going wrong. I've got the skate competition at Spit and Sawdust this afternoon, so I've got to try and leave a little bit in my legs. I would like to go crazy and see if I can get another couple of little bits and bobs, but I'm going to leave it until next time. I've got a few skate challenges that have a psychological element under my belt, so I knew it was just a case of trying to ignore the steps and just stay on, but it didn't make it any easier. I still made a bit of a meal of it. However, as soon as I got it, it was pretty much in the bag every time. If you fancy a trip down to this pool, then be sure to pack a brush. There's usually a little bit of sand and some bits and bobs that need a sweep up. Overall, I'm pretty stoked. If you're new to the channel, feel free to hit subscribe. I make new videos every week. You can also follow me on Instagram @JohnBishopSkate. As ever, my name's been John Bishop and I'm a middle-aged guy learning how to skate.